Friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me thine ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The good that men do live after them. The evil is oft...
Robby, will you please? Will you please lay over that Shakespeare stuff so I can get me mind out of this story?
But, Jimmy...
Lend me your ears. What kind of English is that anyway? How can a guy lend you his ears?
Well, maybe you'd be interested to know, Mr. Gleason, that all great actors study Shakespeare.
All right. But not in the order camp in the middle of the night. Lend me your ears. First thing you know, some guard come over here and lend you his foot.
Well, Jimmy, that Madam that fortune teller, said I was going to be an actor.
Yeah, so you spend $50 for that second-hand book of Shakespeare in Long Beach and keep 40 or 50 guys awake nights asking them to lend you their ears.
Yeah, but if Bob's going to be an actor, he's got to know Hamlet.
I don't care if he has to know Hamlet or Gimlet or Omelet.
It's the tragedy of Hamlet, Jimmy. The tragedy of Hamlet.
Yeah, and it'll be the tragedy of this auto camp. You don't pipe down.
All right, then. I'll study to myself.
That's a good idea.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen.
If I...
Lend me your ears.
Hey, how many L's in Lily?
What, Lily?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's 3.
No, there's only 2.
Well, maybe you're both wrong. I'll use Snow instead of Lily.
Listen, Jimmy, it's none of my business, but how can Snow take the place of Lily?
Easy. As pure as the snow.
Oh, yeah, he's talking about the heroine in the story.
Certainly I'm talking about the heroine.
Oh, she was as pure as the snow, but she drifted.
No, she didn't drift at all. She's a nice girl.
All right, she's a nice girl. So what?
So please keep quiet and let me finish the story.
Friends, Romans,
like it
and
in life.
countrymen, lend
Goes on and
me
on.
your ears.
Come on, Scram. Play dead. Play dead. That's a good doggy.
Ozzy, please. Don't you know you shouldn't annoy the author here while he's authoring?
Say, is that dog an actor or is that dog an actor?
Okay, he's an actor. But will you please take him outside if you want to teach him to be dramatic?
Oh, all right. Come on, Scram.
Friends, Romans,
Will he be a panic in Hollywood or will he be a panic?
I never saw such guys. Here I'm trying to create a child of my brains.
A child of your brains
I said a child of my brains.
must be an orphan.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Must be an orphan?
Well, Jimmy, when the parents are dead, the child is an orphan.
Is that so? Well, my brains is just as much alive as yours.
All right, Jimmy, all right.
Now keep quiet.
A horse. A horse. My kingdom for a horse.
Oh, listen. You ain't got no kingdom, and besides, what do you want with a horse at this time of night?
That's in Shakespeare, Jimmy. That's in Richard III.
I don't care if it's in Louis XIV. You don't need a horse now.
Oh, well, all right. Has the villain in that story got a mustache?
Certainly he's got a mustache. How will the audience know he's a villain if he ain't got a mustache?
I can always tell a villain in moving pictures.
How? Tell me how.
Well, the villain always kicks the dog in the first reel.
Kicks him where?
He kicks the dog early in the picture.
Well, I ain't gonna have this villain do that. Maybe they'll hire Scram to play the dog. I ain't gonna have any actors kicking Scram in the first reel.
Yeah, I guess that's right. We can't have these mugs kicking Scram around.
We certainly can't. You know, Robby, I think we should ought to have more widows and orphans in this story.
Well, why don't you toss in a few?
Toss in a few. What do you think you're talking about? Grapefruit?
No. Orphans. Widows and orphans. Just, sprinkle in a couple here and there.
Oh, it's very plain to see you would never be a writer. Sprinkle a couple of widows and orphans here and there.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, you know where these 2 ventriloquists in Morocco meet the sweet old lady on the farm in the desert?
Yeah, Jimmy, I was thinking about that. Look, how does this sweet old lady get along? How can she make a living on a farm in a desert?
Well, she could have a hot dog stand by the side of the road, like you see all around here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She could sell soda pop, maybe, to the Arabs, huh?
Well, certainly. And hamburgers and things.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Well, this sweet old lady could have a couple of sisters that's a couple of widows. And each of these sisters could have a couple of orphans.
Well, how could the sisters have orphans? You gotta be dead to have orphans.
Oh, that's right. Well, look, I could put in another sister that's dead in Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah, that's it. She could be dead in Patterson and not know it.
It's easy to see that you come from Elizabeth.
Well?
All right. That's the way I'll write it.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Well, what is it now?
I found Hamlet's what's-this. I found Hamlet's soliloquy.
Well, give it right back to him.
No, Jimmy, look. You don't understand, Jimmy. This is the big speech in Hamlet. The lady at the bookstore told me.
What about it?
Well, Jimmy, look, would you mind if I studied this just a little bit out loud?
Robby, how can I?
Listen, Jimmy. All actors should ought to know this speech.
All right. Get it out of your system.
Thanks, Jimmy. To be or not to be? That is the question.
It sounds like that letter we sent to the Mexican chief of police.
Don't interrupt, Jimmy, will you, please? Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of trouble, and by opposing end them.
Well, I'm for that. That part about ending trouble.
Wait a minute, Jimmy, there's more.
More of that?
Certainly. Listen. To die, to sleep no more, and by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to.
Yeah, and when you start spilling that stuff, the flesh of the audience will get plenty of shocks.
Listen, Jimmy, be polite. Tis a what's this? Devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Ah, there's the rub.
There's the rub, all right. That certainly is the rub.
But, Jimmy, that's Hamlet's whatchamacallit.
I don't care if it's Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. You ain't going to spot any more of it in this cabin.
All right. I'll go outside, among the trees and the flowers, where everything is sweet and lovely.
That suits me.
Oh, Jimmy, look. Look at Scram.
Did you say everything was sweet and lovely?
He must have had an accident. Where's Oswald?
Here I am. Is the coast clear?
The coast is clear, but the air certainly is a little thick.
Well, for the love of... Look at Oswald. What's the idea of crawling inside a barrel?
And he ain't got any clothes on.
Well, I was teaching Scram to do tricks, and he thought he saw a cat.
So he saw a cat. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Scram ran after it, and I ran after Scram, but it wasn't a cat.
No, it's certainly easy to tell it wasn't a cat.
Holy smoke, Scram ran in the cabin. Here, Scram.
Here, Scram, will you come out of there?
What are we going to do?
Well, I don't know what we're going to do, Jimmy, but I'm going to sleep out here in the fresh air.
But, Robby, my story's in there. Can't you see my story's in there?
Listen, Scram can't possibly make that story smell any worse than it does right now.
Oh, is that so?
A horse. Me kingdom for a horse.